While the Americas were consumed by the influence of the Radir and the Pulse, becoming the DragonScape, the rest of the world outside of the Americas would avoid the warping of the Pulse and the Radir. After surviving decades of turmoil and even innovating in the world of 3D fabrication, the new global powers of the human world would seek to colonize the Americas. In this basics video, we will discuss the human colonies of the DragonScape and the humans and colonial Drakir that live within them. Humanity wouldn't be able to explore the Americas until 40 years after the Pulse in the year 2058. This would include the 30 years prior to the Drakir awakening of 2048 and the following 10 years after that. Humanity would be kept out of the Americas both due to the literal wall of magic that would surround the Americas for those 40 years, as well as internal issues caused by economic, political, and societal strife. The first colonies would appear in the early 2060s, initially by human explorers exploring a continent that had effectively disappeared from the world for the past 4 decades. These early research bases would expand as various human nations and organizations would flock to the Americas for various reasons, from wanting to exploit the potential natural resources and magic of the DragonScape for economic gain, to science and research and everything in between. By 2075, there would come to be dozens of various colonies across the many coastlines of the DragonScape, as well as hundreds of smaller inland rural outposts. However, even with all this growth, humans are pretty much contained in their larger colonies, mostly on the coasts and not too far inland. The signs of human colonization all but disappear as little as 50 miles inland, and there are still millions of Drakir who don't believe that humans still exist, in spite of their very limited presence in the Americas. This is usually because the dangers of magic keeps humans from traveling too carelessly or deeply inland in large numbers. More on that soon. Firstly, we need to discuss technology. Even in just as little as 40 years, fabrication innovation has come and revolutionized manufacturing across the board. 3D fabrication and printing uses polymers and is used in almost everything colonial, from making insulated walls for buildings and casings for electronics, to manufacturing engine parts and firearm parts. Even the clothing and mana protective masks and equipment they rely on to keep themselves safe from mana exposure all come from the giant fabrication devices. Being cheap and quick allows humanity to very quickly establish a colony, with some examples of the smaller scaled inland outposts popping up within 24 to 30 hours. It also allows humans to replace broken or damaged equipment very easily. Even a damaged tire can be replaced within an hour as long as someone is near a colonial industrial scale fabricator. Fabricators themselves come in a variety of sizes, from small portable devices that take small polymer bricks to industrial scaled ones that require more considerable infrastructure and use tons of polymer every day. Though outside of the extreme efficiency of production, the human tech of the post-Pulse DragonScape would be pretty familiar to us in the modern day. It's not terribly different in specific function from that found in the pre-Pulse world. It's just manufactured with an incredibly efficient and cost-effective method. The realm of the DragonScape is, in effect, an alternate reality situated in the Americas, and humans are essentially interlopers from another reality. The influence of the Radir will bend these colonial humans into Drakir just like it did to the humans of the pre-Pulse Americas in 2018. This process is called Drakification. Drakification is caused by mana exposure in a human. Should they breathe in too much mana, consume too much mana, have mana seep through their skin, or even suffer a magical infection, they can partially or entirely Drakify. Due to this horrible blight, humans spend a lot of resources on mana protection and innovation in mana filtration technology so as to more safely explore the DragonScape. Though many colonial humans do still Drakify, becoming colonial Drakir and usually facing permanent assignment to the DragonScape colonies. To many, this is a terrible fate, and the vast majority of human colonials try their best to avoid Drakification. It's pretty horrifying. The last thing to touch on would be human diplomacy with the local Drakir and Seville Yao, as diplomacy with the local Drakir tribes is critical to the survival of these human colonies. Many colonies would be destroyed just because they infuriated the local Drakir populations, which then united and overran said colonies. There are many cults in the DragonScape that humans have to deal with. Some worship humans and find them superior and sacred. Some find them abhorrent and inferior beings that are better Drekified, and cults that have different, less clear religion and superstitious beliefs about humans that human colonials need to navigate to safely survive the Dragonscape. It's not uncommon for most colonies to have a Drakir diplomacy unit or organization or embassy to make sure that their relationships with the Drakir go over smoothly. To the Civiled Yao, however, it's a very different story. To most Civiled Yao kingdoms, humans are strange, otherworldly monsters that should be exterminated. They view humans as disturbing and disgusting beasts, with some even thinking of them as demons or supernatural entities. It is common in regions where both the Civiled Yao and humans exist, which is pretty rare but still happens, to get into conflicts. The Civiled Yao will try and destroy human colonies and annihilate the presence of humans in their region, if at all possible. There is no negotiation with the Civiled Yao, only aggression from the Cast Dragons. In conclusion, humans are not a common presence in the Dragonscape, though where they are found they are incredibly impactful. Bringing a modern industrial and high-tech human touch to the setting, they have come to the Americas to learn about what happened and to bring resources to their home nations. However, the Dragonscape is a dangerous place for a human. Superstitious Drakir tribes, dangerous Civiled Yao kingdoms, powerful Bal Yar, and even the reality of the Dragonscape will try to rob a human of their life and or humanity. It's a very dangerous world in the Dragonscape, but as humans are always ought to do, we learn and we survive and we overcome. Thanks for watching this basics video and take care.